it might be a helpful thing to have a James Click that thinks differently than Crane and Dusty and the yin and the yang of it all. And, Dusty might not have liked the debates, but sometimes debates are good for the best decision, Shaun.
Yes, yes. Not saying you need a yes man, because that's the last thing you really want. I mean, I'll take an aggressive type of style that's even more deliberate. It could be the wrong decision, but because
Go to Astro Ball, go back and read that book. That book talked about Jeff Luhnow and how he liked having guys in the room that were disagreeing with him when it
yes,
came down to personnel and draft decisions. He
yes,
liked that. It was a big deal for him.
100%. But to be able to do that, okay, it's not, the title doesn't give you the right to do that. The actual human being sitting in that room across the table from you gives you that freedom to do that. There has to be a trust factor there. There has to be that relationship there where you're not afraid to stand up on the table and say, no, this is what I think. This is what we need to do. Now, if you see otherwise, then convince me. I'm willing to listen. Just as much as you're willing to stand up on a table and give your piece and say why you're right and this is what we should do, you have to be willing to sit back down in that chair and listen to it as well from somebody else. And so I was encouraged when I'd read the piece and the quotes from Jim Crane saying that, hey, we're not going to do anything. I'm going to take my time with this, and we're not in red alert mode. And I think you're not, because we're talking about relationships here, Robert, the one that he does have with Justin Verlander. And not saying that's going to be the end all be all decision, but I mean, that is one of the, if not the biggest decision you're having to make at this point in time because of the monies allocated to him potentially. Whereas if you don't have to pay him, that frees up a lot of room to take care of some other positions of need, like first, center, left, catcher, bullpen, and some other big time decisions that need to be made, maybe even coming from the starting rotation. You never know how aggressive this team's going to be. But because you trust Crane as a baseball mind, and he obviously trusts good baseball people around him, that's why I don't think it's red alert time.
You're listening to Houston Sports Talk.